Good morning, students of class 11. It is the second video of the chapter Silk Road taken from the book Hornbill. In this very section, I have already told you about the summary of this chapter and how it is started by the narrator as well as the protagonist, you can say, and how this is a terrible and very troublesome journey to go across that very hilly, snowy region which is assisted by some men. And now you will learn something more in details from the text. The story begins with these very lines, and I want to tell you about the Silk Road. That's why I will take you to all those places from where the Silk Road passed. A flawless half moon floated in a perfect blue sky on the morning. The narrator and his companions said their goodbyes. Extended banks of cloud like long French loops glowed pink as the sun emerged to splash the distant mountain tops with a rose-tinted blush. This is all the natural scene that is expressed here. So they were leaving Rabu. The place Rabu is to be left. Lamo, one of the men, said she wanted to give him a farewell present. One evening, she had told her through Daniel that he was leading towards Mount Kailash to complete the Koda. And she had said that she ought to get some warmer clothes. After ducking back into her tent, she emerged carrying one of the long-sleeved sheepskin coats that all the men wore at the time. T-Satan, or you can say Satan, sized the protagonist up as they climbed up into his car. Yes, he declared. Drokbasar. What was that? Drokbasar, he said in the local language. They took a shortcut to get off the Changtang. Changtang, it is the name of the place. T-Satan knew a route that would take them southwest. Which west? Southwest, almost directly towards Mount Kailash. Now they were just taking the route to Mount Kailash. It involved crossing several fairly high mountain passes, he said. But no problem, sir, he said. He assured them. If there is no snow, there would be no problem. What was the likelihood of that? The protagonist wanted to know. Not knowing, he explained until they would reach there. So here, from the gently rolling hills of Rabu, the shortcut loop took them across vast open plains with nothing in them except a few gazelles, animals that would look up from nibbling the arid pastures and frown before bounding away into the white. After which there was something where the plains became more stony than grassy. Now the stone became very hard, and now a great herd of wild ass came to be seen. T-Satan told them that they were approaching them long before they appeared. What was that? Kayang. He said, pointing towards a far off pile of dust. When they drew near, he could see the herd galloping en masse. All of them were running en masse, wailing and turning in tight formation as if they were practicing maneuvers, men's big rollings from one place to another on some predetermined course. Plumes of dust billowed into the crisp, clean air. It was the condition. As hills started to push up once more from the rocky wilderness, they passed solitary drogbas tending their flocks. They were the men who were suffered. They just wanted to keep up their flocks. Sometimes men, sometimes women. These well covered figures would stop there and stare at their car. Occasionally, they waved their hands when they passed. When the track took them close to their animals, the ship would take evasive action, veering away from the speeding vehicle. It was also a bitter condition to arrive there. They passed nomads, dark tents, which was pitched in splendid isolation. It was completely separated from there. What could you find there? You could find there a huge black dog, a Tibetan mastiff, standing guard. These beasts would cock their great big heads when they came aware of their approach and fix them in their sights. As these creatures would smell the arrival of the other creatures, and as they continued to draw closer, they would explode into action, speeding directly toward them like a bullet from a gun and nearly as fast. Yes, all these animals came so fast that they could not understand how fast they have come. These saggy monsters, blacker than the darkest night, usually wore bright red collars and barked so furiously with massive jaws, big jaws, that was so terrible. It was so frightening. They are completely fearless of their vehicle, shooting straight into their path, causing T-Satan to brake, stop, and swerve move. The dog would make a chase for 100 meters or so before easing off, having seen them off the property. Means everything that they had could be lost. It was not difficult to understand why ferocious Tibetan mastiffs became popular in China's imperial courts as hunting dogs. Here he says about the dogs why it became so famous. Brought along the Silk Road in ancient times as tributes from Tibet, it was also understood. Then what did happen? And so now, what did happen? Then they could see snow-capped mountains gathering on the horizon. Snow-capped mountains could be seen on the horizon. They entered a valley where the river was wide and mostly clogged with ice, brilliant white and glinting in the sunshine. The trail hugged its bank, twisting with the meanders as they gradually gained height and the valley sides closing. And now it was a very beautiful scene to be observed. The turns became sharper and the ride bumpier. T-Satan, now in third gear, he continued to climb. The track moved away from the icy river as well as leveling through steeper slopes that spotted big rocks daubed with patches of bright orange lighting. Here, these are the things that were just causing him trouble. Beneath the rocks, hunks of snow clung on in the near permanent shade. He felt so pleased, building up in his ears, held his nose, snorted and cleared them. They struggled around. Another tide bent and T-Satan stopped there. When T-Satan stopped there, he had opened his door and jumped out of his seat before he could realize what was happening. There was snow. As Daniel informed them, he was too excited as he let in a breath of cold air as he did so. Means he was also breathing in such cold air that was troubling him. So here it is the end of the second video in which I have told you this much. I will tell you something more in the third and fourth video. Thank you, children.